Hello and welcome
Yeah.
everyone. Today my guest is again hybrid MMA coach Andy Young, and we're here to talk about quarantine diaries. So Andy, how's the situation in Northern Ireland these days? Are they easing up, or how are the measures?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course it's a difficult time for everyone. Obviously as a gym owner and running the mixed martial arts club, it's going to be a real challenge not being able to train people and to be able to train really myself the same. But it's just about looking at the opportunities here, and it gives us a lot of time for self-reflection and a time to focus on ourselves a bit more and look at the more important things, which can be just spending more time with family and people and in your household, and just being more connected with the things that are most important. So, I mean, of course, it is a terrible thing, in some respects, many respects, but it's it is good in a lot of ways. I do think, it's given us a lot of time to focus on what really matters.
How much time did you need to adjust? I mean, it's very hard, new situation and so on. Everybody had to modify their schedules and so on. How much time were needed in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends, person to person and stuff, like really time wise. But for us anyway, we've just kind of rolled with doing online kind of sessions, or recording a lot more videos, putting a lot more content out there, and that's where one of the opportunities is that I was speaking of it gives us more time to actually think more technique wise, break down fights, give a lot of good advice and technique and workouts to the students and other people, and basically just focus more on the online content. So that is something that we always wanted to do, but this is now giving us the time to do more of that. So, but yeah, time frame wise, we've just kind of did a quick enough turnaround as fast as we can, and just trying to again make an opportunity out of all this.
Yeah, I know. That's the ultimate reason. I saw your posting a lot of online content and so on. So, how hard actually is to hold online training sessions? It's kind of, you can't see the man who's doing and so on. So it has its own hard stuff. So how it is actually?
Yeah, it's got its own challenges. It's certainly different, especially for our sport where we need to be really hands on and like in your face for the type of training. But again, shadow boxing, technique wise, there's a lot of stuff that can be done. And like I've said a few times, shadow boxing in particular is it's very underutilized, and people don't do enough of it. You can really learn quite a lot from doing your shadow boxing, depending on how you do it, obviously. But your technique can vastly improve, and you can learn a lot. So just encouraging people to do more of that, to go over certain flow drills and things that can really improve their coordination and technique. And at the end of the day, fighting is muscle memory. So if you can create better muscle memory, you're going to be faster. The coordination is going to be much better. And when we come back into our training regime, like you'll see the people that have been training at this time, and the people that have taken the opportunity to just do nothing. So it's going to really show when this is over.
So how do you plan to keep your fighters motivated? I mean, I hope this will. I mean, here is kind of how to say. They isn't up. Borders are still closed, but they isn't up a lot. You can go out now and so on, but it's still, we must wear masks and such things.
I know it is very difficult sometimes with motivation. Again, depending on your lifestyle and that, but it's just a case of we'll have to monitor self discipline, because it's very easy if you sit indoors all the time to drop your energy, because by sitting you're naturally lowering your energy and feeling more rested and not really wanting to move and feeling more lethargic. So it's just really, if I can get people to train early in the morning, that's what sets them up for the day, and that's what makes the difference. So as much kind of perspective and motivational stuff I can do, but just to again understand that this it's not the end of the world now. Like, I mean, we just need to stay mainly at home. When the world wars happened, it was considerably more difficult than this. We were just being asked to stay in and watch Netflix for most of the time. It's not the worst. So it's just making sure the fighters are using this time to at least get one workout in a day, and to do it early in the morning, because that's when it it kicks you off into the right mindset for the rest of the day. If you put it off for too long, it really goes against you.
So when might, for example, Cage Warriors get back on its feet or so on? Maybe in 2 or 3 months. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, what's happening now is basically when the lockdown ends and gyms reopen and we're back into training, then 8 weeks after, that will be the first fight date for a lot of shows. But what that does mean is that a lot of the shows are going to be, you know, every single week from that point on. So uh, that'll be tricky to coordinate and to get the right fights and to get enough fighters, maybe the right types of fights on. A lot of people are going to be not wondering what show to go to, and matchmakers are maybe going to have a bit more difficulty. But I would like to see maybe some shows putting on a fight a matter of weeks after the lockdown, because again, that kind of rewards the people that have been training and have been keeping themselves fit and ready. And as soon as this lockdown ends and we can go back to training, and fight shows can resume, that people will be ready to go, and those guys will get the opportunities.
Yeah, it will be probably hard. For example, you have a competition on Sunday, you have competition on Saturday, and you must travel both days. It's kind of hard, and you have event after event. I don't know how is it gonna go. UFC got back on its feet. Bellator should get back soon, and it will be fun,
Yeah.
when you have.
Well, I mean,
Yes, go ahead.
yeah, I'm so very happy for like the UFC and the moves they're making, and it worked well. I mean, if there was a scare with Jacare, testing positive, but the event went ahead, and it was great to watch, and so many people were motivated by watching that, and a lot of my students have messaged me and just said, I'm so excited to get back to training, and that UFC really pumped me up, and they're really really good to go. So it's great, keeps the sport alive, keeps people into it, and gives them a bit of a break from all the kind of the bad stuff that's happening out there, and to see a live sporting event and to see the UFC's really got a lot of people's spirits lifted. So yeah, very very happy to see that with the UFC, and fair play for the amount of work they're doing, getting these fights up and running. So
Yeah, I assume there won't be summer this summer, because this summer we will probably watch UFC and such things. What I can see, other promotions and so on. I think they
yeah.
must go on summer.
Well,
What
I
do you think?
think the only thing is, yes, of course, like the UFC, they get pay-per-views, really high pay-per-views. So the big shows, like you said, Bellator, UFC, I think they will be fine. But the smaller shows that need attendance to be there to make any money, that'll be a while. But the biggest shows will, continue, which is good. But yeah, the smaller shows a bit longer possibly. So.
Yeah. Do you have an ultimate message for all the fighters or the guys who are into MMA right now? And
Yeah, I mean, just again, see this as an opportunity. It's kind of the mantra I always talk about. It's just the obstacle, is the way, and it's obviously a difficult time, but it's an opportunity too, and to use this to focus on yourself, to reflect on yourself, and maybe to find answers to things. I mean, for me, it's really given me a chance to reevaluate myself, and to make little changes to my own training, and I'm excited to get back to it and hungry to compete. So it's great, and sometimes you get swept up in the routine of life and you don't get enough time to yourself. So this is giving everyone as much time as they want to themselves. So it's how we use this now. So you're being tested, all the fighters are being tested right now to see how badly they want to be a fighter, and are they going to use this time productively, or are they going to sit back and be lazy and then miss the chances.
yeah, I assume it will end as soon as possible. Right now, I just hope the borders will be reopened, but they announced in my country they will reopen it and at the end of June. I don't know how it will be in the rest of the world.
Yeah, well, that's good. You guys are definitely making good progress. We're not sure, I mean, it's all very up in the air and depends how people react, and how safe people are. But we'll see where we go. But it's just to make the most of what we have. You know.
Yeah, well, this summer we will watch events. This summer we won't go to vacation. That's basically it. Yeah.
Well, the weather's been good, for especially for Northern Ireland. Like the weather's very nice. I mean, it's blue sky kind of today, which is great.
Awesome.
So, and then I've been very fortunate. I only live 4 or 5 minutes walk to my gym, so I'm able to train here. So I'm actually in the gym now. So it's very fortunate for myself, and it's making the most of the opportunities. I've got a couple of workouts in already today, so you gotta just jump on the opportunities you're given.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. I will post it when my classes end. I must put it now to creation, but I hope in 4 or 5 hours I will post it. Because now I must go to online sessions. We are prohibited to go to college, so.
No problem, Vladimir. Look, thank you so much for the
All
interview.
right,
Great seeing
thank you.
you.
Catch y'all next time. Have you a great day,
Best.
Andy.
See you, man. Bye bye bye.